Donald Trump just announced a 25% tariff on all Indian imports, plus an additional penalty, citing obnoxious trade barriers and India's ties to Russia. But is this really about India, or is Trump sending a warning shot to the entire BRICS alliance? Let's break it down. On July 30th, Trump shocked the world with a bold move. 25% tariffs on every product coming from India, effective August 1st. But that wasn't all. He also promised a penalty linked to India's continued purchase of Russian oil and military equipment. Speaking from the White House, Trump called India's trade practices, quote, strenuous and obnoxious, pointing to what he claims are some of the highest tariffs in the world. He stressed that the U.S. runs a massive trade deficit with India, and hinted this is about fairness, not friendship, despite calling India a friend in the same breath. So what does this mean for India? India exports billions to the U.S. each year, everything from pharmaceuticals and jewelry to IT services and textiles. Experts warn sectors like gems and electronics could take the hardest hit. India's own tariffs, they hover around 12 to 16% on average, high by global standards, but far from the most extreme. Still, Trump argues these barriers shut out U.S. products, while Indian goods flood the American market. The bigger question is why now, and why this hardline tone? To answer that, we have to look at BRICS, the bloc of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Trump has repeatedly threatened 10% tariffs on all BRICS nations and even floated 100% duties if they launch a new currency to challenge the US dollar. This isn't random. BRICS has openly discussed reducing reliance on the dollar, and Washington sees that as an existential threat to US financial dominance. So when Trump targets India for trading with Russia, it might be more than just punishment for oil purchases. It could be a signal to the entire BRICS alliance. Get in line or pay up. Analysts from the South China Morning Post called this a calculated warning shot. India may be the friendliest BRICS member to Washington, but if Trump is willing to hit New Delhi, no one is safe. Reuters reports ongoing U.S.-India trade talks are now in jeopardy, and some fear a full-blown trade war. Meanwhile, the Washington Post argues this move could backfire, damaging U.S. credibility and pushing India closer to Russia and China, exactly what Washington wants to avoid. And here's the kicker. Investors are worried this isn't an isolated case. It could be the start of a new global tariff war centered on BRICS. So what happens next? Scenario 1. India agrees to cut tariffs and reduce Russian purchases. Trump lifts the penalties, and both sides claim victory. Scenario 2. India refuses, BRICS rallies behind it, and we see retaliatory tariffs hurting American farmers, tech companies, and consumers. Scenario 3. Trump doubles down on his earlier threats, slapping tariffs across all BRICS nations. That could ignite a trade bloc standoff unlike anything we've seen since the Cold War. For India, this means immediate pressure on its exporters, a hit to the rupee, and complicated diplomacy. For the U.S., it could raise prices on pharma, software, and jewelry, fueling inflation. And for BRICS, this may actually accelerate de-dollarization efforts, as members band together to shield themselves from American tariffs. Ironically, a policy meant to isolate Russia could end up strengthening BRICS unity. So, was this move really about India's trade practices? Or is Trump quietly declaring economic war on BRICS without saying it outright? If India is just the first domino, the global economy could be entering a turbulent new chapter. What do you think? Is this smart strategy or a risky gamble that could blow back on the U.S.? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives on global trade and politics.